A black pastor looked dead into the camera and said, America has already given black people everything. Affirmative action, civil rights, access to white schools, white neighborhoods, and even white women. And still, the demand never stops. Most people will argue about whether he was right or wrong. That's the easy conversation, in my opinion. The harder one is what happens when you keep watching after that statement, because the next few minutes don't stay in the same lane. They move, and by the time we get to the end, the first claim starts sitting very differently. Now, listen to how flat he says it.
You want affirmative action?
Affirmative action was necessary.
We have given you people, we gave you this. What?
We've given you people, go ahead.
We gave you the civil rights movement.
Right.
We allowed you to sit in white cafes and white businesses during that time.
Yeah, even the Starbucks still.
We're giving you the white. You say, oh, that's not enough. We want white. We want to go to school with the white people. So we gave you permission to go to school with the white people.
Yeah, but we didn't always want to go to school with them.
And then you said, I want to live in the white communities. And so we gave you the white community, even though you turned them into ghettos. We gave you white communities.
Did black people turn them into
ghettos? And then you
ghettos?
said, that's not enough. That's not enough. We want to go to a white school, but we're not smart enough. You have to lower the grades.
Did we turn them into the ghetto?
How much more do you want?
Did we turn them into the ghetto?
We even gave you the white woman.
And that's what got us in trouble.
The blacks start begging for the white women. You want affirmative action?
JLP, pastor, the black pastor I'm talking about. He listed the things that will fall for and handed over. Then he asked the only question that still matters: how much more do you want? I mean, the guest couldn't answer without, circling back to the same wounds. And that's usually the trap, when every gang gets treated like it never happened. The only thing left is permanent complaint. And permanent complaint, it's never been a community that lasts. Now, watch what happens when a black woman refuses to play the role someone else wrote for her. This is actually Turning Point UK.
I am from the Deep South. They see you as a second-class citizen. They do not see you as an equal. So how do you reconcile that as a strong, beautiful woman? You're literally giving energy to a community that does not believe you are equal.
I'm recruiting people that look like you.
To do what? To do what?
I'm telling you.
So basically, you think I'm inferior. You think I'm inferior.
Absolutely
you think I'm an inferior dumb black woman who does not have a brain for herself. So you're the racist. He's allowed me to have my own opinion. You think I don't have my own opinion. So you think I'm an inferior monkey. She just exposed her own racism. He's allowed me to have my own opinion for 3 hours. You think I don't have my own opinion, and someone is basically manipulating me. So you've exposed your own racism. So I think you can move to the side, because I don't want to speak to racists. She thinks I don't have a brain of my own, guys. I am from the Deep South.
So, oh wow, my camera decided to leave me. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hold up. My camera said I'm black and I'm proud. Now, the liberal woman, she didn't argue policy. She argued ownership. She decided this black woman was too intelligent to truly believe what she was saying. So she must be being used. Trust me, I've heard this a million times, right? And that's not protectionist. Usually not. That's a softer form of the same insult. You can't possibly think for yourself. And the second the black woman named it out loud, you see the whole room shifted. The election ended because the assumption got exposed. Keep that energy, because the next one goes straight at history. Most people still get wrong.
Jim Crow is always returning. They keep forgetting to tell you that Jim Crow was an aberration of the Democrat. Like, those were Democrats. They don't want you to remember that. It's amazing to me. Jim Crow's always coming back. You always have to live with the fear that another lynching is right around the corner. You never know. They might just string you up on a tree right in front of your house and ain't nobody gonna do nothing. It's amazing, though, because conveniently, the Democrat Party, NAACP, Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, all of them, they're the ones that must always stand between you and annihilation. Lord knows, what would we do without them? How would we survive if we didn't have the NAACP and the Democrat protecting us from the big old boogeyman white man? These men are not leading black people out of Egypt. No. Their power depends upon convincing black people Egypt is everywhere. It's everywhere. They need a permanent pharaoh. They need you out here singing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot till the day you die. They need a permanent wilderness. This is why the black community looks the way it is.
Jim Crow was written, passed, and enforced by Democrats. That's actually not my opinion either. That's the record. That's fact. Yet the same party spent the next 60 years convincing Black America that they could only protect us from the very system their own people built. The fear gets recycled every election cycle. We know that. The solution never changes. Stay dependent, stay, scared, stay voting the same way. She just called it what it is. A permanent wilderness with no promised land on the other side. Now, something you don't hear every day just happened. A man who has spent his life on the other side of the aisle suddenly sounds like he's been paying attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to agree with Donald Trump. But on this one, I got to agree with him. These career politicians, Democrats that I've always supported, in my congressional race, they are really cheating. One of the candidates, she has people knocking on seniors' doors, telling these seniors that they will take their ballot to the box. Opening up the ballot, changing the vote, and dropping it in the box. They call them ballot harvesters. I never even know this even existed. See, I'm the career politician in this race. And I always said everything Trump says is a lie. Just making excuses. But he's right. These people do rig elections. They're literally going to seniors' house, and you can look at it on the data machine as to who voted and who didn't vote. So they're going to these seniors' houses, knowing that they do not have the resources to get in the car or the time to go and vote. So they're offering their assistance and going to these people's house. They got the money to pay for it. Guy with dreadlocks. When I get that footage, I'm going to post it. This is bad. This is absolutely bad. Absolutely bad. You got to win by cheating. Unbelievable. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're a liar and you're a cheater.
Well, can't say Trump did it. Uncle Luke is not a Trump supporter. He's running as a Democrat. I actually just found this out. And he looked at what was happening in his own country or county. What am I talking about? Happening in his own county and said the quiet part without the usual excuses. Somebody is preying on seniors and treating ballots like a delivery service. Wow, this is so new. When even the people who used to defend every tactic start calling the police, the old talking point, it loses some weight. Reality doesn't care who you endorsed last election cycle. Now, this next one asks the question most people avoid because the answer is just uncomfortable.
That's exactly the way I feel about our country today. Where are the strong men who are willing to stand up for the principles we know that would make this country great and has made this country great? And obviously, this is not a conversation for people who believe this country has never been great. I wouldn't even entertain these people, by the way. But yeah, what happened to the strong leaders, the strong men who have balls and a spine to stand up for what we truly believe in and protecting the principles that have made this country great? What are those principles, Devori? I don't know. Submitting ourselves to the American flag, right? Submitting ourselves to the idea that we're all Americans first, and that what happens in our backyard, in our community, is our responsibility. What happened to that? Right? Oh, what happened is people got soft. Oh, I don't want to tell you that you're doing wrong. I don't want to call you out. I don't want to hold you accountable. Why is that? Because the woke mob got so loud that people are scared to do the right thing. Now, an example of that are some of these radical cities like Minneapolis or Madison, where the police chief can get shut down by a BLM protester, and his press conference can go literally off the rails because he has no spine, right? He's not standing for law and order. He's standing along with the woke mob. And I can even go to the churches. What happened to the churches in America? And I'm not asking, and I don't support Christian churches who are overly judgmental. I don't like that. I think that's toxic, okay? But I'm talking about churches in America who essentially have capitulated to LGBTQ and all this other woke nonsense. What happened to that? Right? What happened to we are a nation under God? We have a political party who literally, in my opinion, in some ways believe God doesn't exist, that they are better than God, that they know more than he did, that they know what is right, not the creator of the universe. And so it's definitely a call to action. But we were listening to both of these songs on the way back home, and I was just like, man, it's 2026. These songs came out in early 2000s, and it's still relevant today, probably more than it was back then.
That's the craziest part, right? Hey, y'all, I'm working. Now, where are the men who will say the hard thing when the crowd turns? Loyalty to this country, personal responsibility, strong families, law and order. Those used to be baseline. Now they treat them like weapons. The moment enough people get quiet, the loudest and the weakest voices start running the show. And communities pay the price for the silence every single day. Now, I want you to pay attention to where this conversation actually ends up.
Black folks are leaving this country like in mass. They're going to Mexico. They're going to Panama. They're going to Costa Rica. They're going to Lisbon. They're going all over Africa. They're leaving.
Yeah.
Because this ain't
No, this is not
I got
it.
a 5-year plan too.
I believe
Eventually, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Where you trying to go?
I don't know yet.
All right, let me know. 'Cause
Yeah, I
we
don't know
need to
yet.
get some properties
I'm
in
still gonna be. I'm bopping around.
Yeah.
I'm bopping around trying to figure it out. I'm going to
Okay.
Africa for the first time this year.
I don't think no emus over there.
I
So
don't
we
know.
gonna have to-
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know.
All right.
But I'll be looking.
All right, let
I'll
me
be
know.
I'll be looking for them.
right.
I'm afraid of what I might adopt. Okay.
Right.
I'm afraid of what I might come home with. You know, Black folks are leaving this country.
So the claim is black people are leaving in practice, packing up and moving to Panama and Mexico because the cost of living, the safety, and the daily stress finally outweighed the story they were told to stay and fight. Now, when the same country that gave us everything starts losing its own people, according to her, like in quiet waves, the old narratives, I guess they stop working. And I think, if anything, people are moving more metaphorically than literally. I'll take it that way. Let's replace moving to Panama and all that to moving to common sense. Something deeper is being rejected. Not with the speeches, with one-way tickets, though, I'll tell you that. Now, we just watched the black pastor say the debt has already been paid. A black woman refusing to be treated like a prop. A clear reminder of who actually wrote Jim Crow. A Democrat forced to admit cheating is his, cheating in his own race. And they ain't talking about skin color. A call for men who still have courage and black Americans voting with their feet. None of that fits the script most people are handed. The script says stay angry, stay afraid, and keep the same people in charge of the anger. The reality is messier. Some of us are done performing a role. Some of us are measuring the results instead of rhetoric. And some of us are leaving the conversation entirely because it stopped being useful. Truth doesn't need a party. It just needs people willing to look at it all without blinking. The longer we pretend the same ideas that fail keep failing for mysterious reasons, the longer the same outcomes stay locked in. I'm not here to tell you how to vote. I'm here to show you what happens when the camera keeps rolling past the approved talking points, though. So I want you to drop the word standard in the comments. And for each will have to bear his own load. That's Galatians 6 and 5. Y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.